Yeah, no, I've absolutely started to think about this crash up. I didn't have that term, but one of the things I look at again as the housing guy, right, is when I paint the scary picture for next year, it's essentially a crash up. Existing home supply stays near record lows. New home construction drops. Thing go mothballed, pause. So we have even less inventory there. Then, for whatever reason, the Fed is forced to cut. Then banks compete and take their margin from 300 basis points to a more historical 200 basis points. Rates get into six, and oh my goodness, demand is unlocked, and we have a crash up in real estate prices. That's a legit fear of mine, right? Real estate go up another 10 or 15%. Not good. I mean, it's great if you own it. It's not good long term, in my opinion. The haves and the have nots get wider and wider. That's a big fear I have.
Yeah, it is basically exacerbating everything, all the trends we've seen over the past generation, actually. So it's going to be interesting how they think about doing that. I mean, I think historically what they would do is raise taxes, maybe even a wealth tax. And I
Maybe.
think that's been considered across the world, not successful, but they could have new tools to implement that. That could make it more successful.
Well, they're going to have to
Well,
change the U.S. Constitution if they're going to get a wealth tax passed. But
it's been
that's a
done
different.
before. We didn't
It's
have
been
an
done
income tax.
before.
We
Yeah,
didn't have
no,
an
you're
income
right.
tax before, right? We didn't have an
Good
income tax.
point. Good point.
Um,
Good point.
to your point about mortgage rates, I think one thing I think would be helpful to note is that when we look at mortgages, we usually look at them as a spread to 10-year treasury yields. So
Correct.
there's that spread there. And that spread is historically very, very wide. So even if the 10-year treasury doesn't really do anything, I think the expectation is that over time, that spread could narrow a bit. So we could still have mortgage rates
Agreed.
come down, even if the treasury yields don't do anything.
No, I agree. I think a mortgage rate in the sixes, like 6.5, is what unlocks demand, doesn't unlock supply. And again, it means asset values go up. The crash up scenario plays. And again, this goes to the stock market, crypto, Bitcoin. I mean, just, yeah, if you run the house that way, the crash up scenario frightens me, frankly.